Hi everyone. A very good evening to all of you. Welcome to this session. Please let me know if I'm properly audible and visible to all of you. Okay. So those watching me for the first time, my name is Niharika John Mehra and I have been teaching English for more than 10 years. Here I am your faculty of English. हमारे डेली के सेशंस हो रहे हैं and I'll quickly give you the schedule here. 1:30 p.m. EPFO practice sessions are going on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Same time on our other channel, CGB IBPS Hub, we are doing topics Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So reading comprehension and algebras on Monday, error on Tuesday, error and sentence correction on Thursdays, and on Saturdays fillers and all. So these are the practice sessions, and then we have this session going on, which is a power packed session, as I always say. 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday, we are covering editorial, taking all the benefit that we can in just one session. So we do skimming over here. We learn and practice. We learn vocabulary and we cover grammar. We also practice some MCQs. What not you get in this session. So make sure that you somehow make time for this one at least and attend the session. जल्दी से like और share कर दो because I will brief you quickly on how to skim and then we will begin. So skimming is reading only as per our need, just to understand the overall idea, not the in-depth meaning. Okay, what you do is you focus more on the subjects and the verbs. That's the first thing. Second thing, what do you do is that whenever you have a paragraph in exam, an RC in exam, so we need to just make sure that we have a look at it. Don't translate it, don't lip sync, don't pronounce tough words in your mind, don't read full proper nouns. You can avoid reading the exact data numbers. Okay, you can just have a look at it and understand is a point ke baad wale numbers, yeah, if there is a big number, that all takes time. So you need to make sure you read the right way, just like you would read an advertisement, like that is flashing in front of you and gone in few seconds, just like that. Okay, तो आपको उतना स्पीड पढ़ना है प्लीज. I will let you know about what you're asking. I'll have to read the comment. So yeah, that's what you have to do in skimming. So I'll give you timer of 2.5 minutes. You will practice skimming over here, and in 1 to 2 lines, what you understand is the summary of this article. This is taken from the editorial of the Hindu newspaper. So please make sure you write it here so that I can understand if you have understood this or not. Okay. Days change for afternoon class? No, no, no. Same. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays here on this channel, and on the other channel, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. They are the same. Okay. Tough timing. Tough timing means we are, of course, going to see something critical over here. On ISRO PSLV C61 mission. Now, that's what I was talking about. When you have this type of vocabulary, word, again and again mentioned, you don't have to read PSLV. It actually can take more time than needed in your mind. So have a look at it. I mean, next time, whenever it is mentioned, or EOS 9, okay, ISRO, and wherever PSLV, whenever we see the word again, we don't have to read PSLV. So, this is what you have to do when you are skimming. So, this mission, India Space Program, ISRO needs more resources. We are lacking on funding resources to support India's military needs. Military needs को शायद as of now हम support नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. Okay, so that's what the author is saying. Now, it starts with saying, in contemporary space fight, cost, reliability, and time from a tense triangle. Okay, these form a tense triangle. Okay. In contemporary space fight, what happens in contemporary space fight? There are three things that is cost, reliability, and time. These three things, they form a triangle, which is a tense triangle. Whether more money can ensure more reliability, okay, whether more money can ensure more reliability is tricky to answer. So we cannot say for sure that more money will just solve the problem. More so, following the failure of ISRO's mission to launch EOS 9 Earth observation satellite into a sun synchronous this. So, moreover, so this has come after the failure of this mission to launch the observation satellite into a sun synchronous, sun के साथ synchronize हुआ. Synchronous means something that is concurrent to something else. तो वो polar orbit को पोलर ऑर्बिट के साथ में जो हम चाह रहे थे लॉन्च करना, it didn't work out. EOS 9 was designed to produce high quality radar images for civilian applications such as land use mapping, hydrology studies, and for defense surveillance as well. So what was the purpose of this mission, this satellite? It was to provide these mentioned informations like mapping, studies, and defense surveillance, even if inclement weather. Okay, inclement is harsh, unpleasant weather prevailed over the areas of interest. So even the weather is not favorable, it has, thanks to a synthetic aperture radar and a C-band data link. So ये technology का नाम है. Thanks to them, we were hoping कि with the use of this satellite, we can work the problem areas out. It could give us better surveillance. Okay. Against the backdrop of tensions, मतलब background में tensions है with Pakistan, such all-weather data would also have informed tactical decisions. तो हमारे जो strategy थी, हमारी tactical जो भी यहाँ पे हम plan कर रहे थे, so that's what we get to see कि ये जो सारी चीजें हैं ये backdrop में हो रही थी, and then we have had this mission failure. The Department of Space had also invited several members of parliament to the launch event. So Department of Space invited people, which would have been unusual for a strictly civilian Earth observation satellite. ये unusual होता because this is a strictly civilian Earth observation satellite. So why are they apart? ISRO chairman V. Narayan later said his team noted a glitch in the vehicle's third stage. So now this is the statement from the chairman. It happened just after minutes lift-off that prevented the satellite from reaching its intended altitude. Altitude matlab ऊंचाई. Altitude means the height that was intended. So within minutes, they figured out there was a problem, there was an issue, there was a glitch. While the cause is yet to be ascertained, that means we still not know the exact cause. The failure is a reminder that a textbook launch means anything which is textbook, is a cliche. Or it is something where we want to say this was supposed to be exactly this way. So that kind of a launch of a rocket, even as well understood as PSLV, is not a given. So the failure is a reminder that such a launch of rocket, and even when we understand as PSLV is something not we are doing for the first time, so this is not something we were expecting. India is just embarking on its ambitious space-based surveillance 3 program. So now we are starting. Embarking on means we are beginning. We are at the starting of a road program to launch 52 surveillance satellites. 31 are to be built in private sector, which still needs ISRO's guidance. And out of that, 31 will be built in the private sector and with the guidance of ISRO. Focus on the program also comes against the backdrop of Operation Sindhu. So this focus of the program is something that is happening where in the background Operation Sindhu is going on, which revealed at least one gap in countries' space-based military surveillance capabilities. Now this highlighted, the operation highlighted there was something, a loophole, a gap, a miss in the surveillance capabilities when it depended on a foreign commercial operator. When the surveillance was dependent on the foreign commercial operator for more frequent data, that means somewhere we are lacking. हमसे जितना expected है उतना provide नहीं हो पा रहा है. Small margins of error in a rocket components operation separate success from failure. Okay, so small margins of error जो है now, because it's not a big one, it's not something huge that happened, but small little things, small margins of error in rocket components or operations. In operations that's related to rocket can separate success from failure. Success से failure के ऊपर जरा सा छोटा सा चीज ला सकता है and thus cause from reliability. Time, however, is a separate matter. So of course we read in the beginning there were 3 things author was mentioning. Now he is coming to the third thing, that is time. It is altogether a different story. The pressing need, that means there is an urgency for surveillance capabilities, if not improving the understanding of climate change and disaster risk over India, means that developers lack the luxury of time. That means they don't have enough time, while also coming under greater pressure to deliver across both civilian and military domains. So these people who have to deliver, they have to give their best, the best satellite, the best surveillance and all. Now they don't have the luxury of time. They have to work maybe on tight deadlines, and that's also they are covering both the domains, civilian and military domain. So PSLV failure follows the failure in January. Another failure happened in January, that was to place the navigation satellite into its designated orbit. That was the previous failure. Between an increasingly crowded launch manifest, increasingly crowded, everyone was invited from the parliament, research and development, data acquisition and processing pipelines. Between all these factors, limited access to manufacturing capacity and human space flight program. So this program, data ko lena, research, R&D and all, it will not be remiss to increase the resources available. Okay. Now, remiss is something where things went without attention. Okay. So people were careless, you can say like that. Okay. So when we are saying it will not be careless to see that the access to manufacturing, access to increase the resources available to ISRO is there or not, if only to ensure its ability to meet India's military needs. Understand, this is a complex sentence. It starts here and it ends here. So you will have to read everything in one go. So between all the factors, it will be not careful, it will not be remiss to increase the resources available. इसके लिए ISRO के लिए, if only to ensure, अगर केवल ensure करना है ability to meet India's military needs while carrying on with other enterprises, all of which are becoming time sensitive. So it is very clear we need more funding. It is not careless. That means it's very carefully spoken. It's carefully mentioned that ISRO requires more funding because it has to deliver on multiple levels. It has to deliver for military purpose, for civilian purpose, all of which are becoming time sensitive in a highly competitive global industry. So if there is lack of funding, then how they are going to deliver on both the ends, both the verticals, military and civilian? The basic message yahi tha iska. Okay, let's quickly see some words. Inclement, अभी हमने inclement weather के लिए पढ़ा. So inclement is harsh, unpleasant weather, something where it is severe. Okay, so here you get to see something जो कि बहुत ही severe तरीके से प्रतिकूल मौसम है. Glitch is a temporary malfunction, a fault. छोटा मोटा अगर थोड़े टाइम में रिजॉल्व हो जा रहा है. ओके, हेलो, गुड इवनिंग. ओके, so that is a glitch. Ascertain is found with certainty, something which is verified for sure, ironclad evidence है शायद उसका, determined है. Okay, okay, hi. Surveillance is, we all understand, but still it's close observation. सिक्योरिटी पर्पसेस के लिए जो मॉनिटरिंग होती है उसको सर्वेलेंस बोलते हैं. स्क्रूटनी. मैनिफेस्ट इज a list or a schedule. Now manifest has, this word has many different meanings, but then with respect to the passage we are talking about the schedule of something, like a list of what is going to happen when. A remiss is negligent in duty or work. Not attentive, as I mentioned, inattentive. So not a remiss will be attentive. Not and remiss together will give you positive meaning. I hope you understand. Embarking on something usually use hota and it means starting a course of action. Time sensitive is needing urgent attention or quick action. Anything which is competitive relates to competition. You people are preparing for competitive exam, but anything which is competitive is something also where we can see there is rivalry, there is a cutthroat performance to be given. Synchronous, things going in concurrence, साथ साथ चल रही हैं, simultaneous, occurring or existing in the same time. And backdrop is the background, the context of something happening. If this thing would have happened at any other time, it would have been different. Now there is tough timing. Why? Because in backdrop there is another tension going on where surveillance wala part बहुत important था, है, in fact. So this is why tough timing is the title given. I hope you understand this. है ना? Now start with giving me some answers of these grammar questions. I want you to give me main subject and verb of the marked statement. Come on guys, subject, main subject and verb. Weather along with whatever weather is explaining is my subject. So if my sentence starts with whether or if, just like that, It is one whole complex subject. It is considered singular. Whether more money can help or not. This thing is tricky to answer. Whether one will crack exam or not. Whether he will visit you is not sure. So whenever my sentence starts with a word that is whether, in some cases if also, if में तो conditional चला जाता है, okay वो वाला if नहीं, but whether के साथ का जो fragment है, what we are saying along with whether, the whole thing, that whole question is tricky to answer. That's what it is. So is the main verb and whether is the subject here. Okay. For the word money, which is a subject, a sub-subject, first of all, verb is can ensure, modal verb and main verb. And this is part of what is attached to the word whether. It is not the main subject. Whether requires more words to complete the meaning, to give more sense, to make more sense. So whether here is the governing, the main subject. Okay. Part of speech of this word. It's a noun. So it is used with another noun, studies, making it a compound noun. Part of speech. It's an adjective. Next question. Subject and verb of this sentence, the one I have highlighted. Focus is the subject. Focus comes against all this. Okay. And last question. Yeah, so understand this. Focus comes against the backdrop. अभी ऑपरेशन सिंदूर is the antecedent for the relative pronoun which. तो इसको हम main subject नहीं बोलेंगे, है ना? After this, we will continue with some more questions. So tell me this sentence that I have highlighted, subject and verb. Small margins of whatever. Okay. So small margins, plural is the subject of error. Error in what? In operations. Separate. As per the plural, we have verb over here. Okay. Now, the summary and the tone is analytical because author has definitely analyzed the situation, how it is going in the backdrop of Pakistan situation. It is strategic because author is talking about what should be the right move, and slightly urgent because they need funding, because there are things into play they have to deliver on time and all. So the failure of PSLV mission, which was meant to launch the satellite, this highlights, it underlines the delicate balance. The balance with respect to all these missions must be between cost, reliability, and time. EOS 9 was vital for both civilian and strategic surveillance, especially amid the regional tensions. We wanted that surveillance. The malfunction in the third stage of launch is a reminder that even trusted platforms like PSLV are vulnerable. So we need to make sure that somehow we don't, we take enough time for successful events, not with the failures. With India embarking on ambitious space based surveillance involving so many satellites and facing time sensitive imperatives, climate hai, military imperatives hai, इनके चलते there is a suggestion which author gave, that was it must be equipped with more resources or funding or resources mile, not just funding but more resources. The failure adds to recent setbacks and highlights the critical need for expanded what manufacturing, R&D, military capability. तो फेलियर जो है इसमें हमारा ये बड़ा फेलियर, इट हैज एडेड टू मोर सेटबैक्स, जो कि एक पिछले भी हुआ था जनवरी में. And it highlights what all we need. We want expanded manufacturing, we want R&D, we want time, we want military capability to meet national and global space demands. So these are the requirements. Answer is C. What was the primary function of this satellite that failed? High resolution observation for civilian and military, both. No, A is not the answer. Na? Internet services wasn't mentioned. Surveillance is different. Surveillance is monitoring. Answer is B. Which of the following best explains the reason for increasing pressure? Greater need for surveillance and climate data. That's why we were planning, we were designing something that can give us data even when there is harsh weather. The answer is C. The editorial argues that launching satellites is no longer a textbook process, even for PSLV. He is mentioning that even a familiar technologies are prone to error, है ना? टेक्स्ट मैंने आपको मीनिंग बताया था, समथिंग लाइक अ क्लीशे विच इज फेमिलियर कॉमन. फोर्थ वन. Answer is C again. What strategic shortcoming was revealed during this operation? That the dependency was on a foreign satellite operator. Super easy. It is again C. Cost, reliability and time constraints. इसको टेंस ट्रायंगल बोला गया है. Start with the error detection questions. Okay, answer is no error. The Department of Space had invited several members of parliament, because several हैं, to their launch event, which would have been unusual for a strictly civilian Earth observation satellite. बिल्कुल सही. Invitation given to these people to to an event. So to the launch event is fine. There is no error in that one. 7. Okay, so answer here is B. Areas of interest, not areas in interest. So EOS was designed to produce what? High quality images, even if inclement weather that prevailed over the areas of interest. Thanks to something, this is now a phrase adding more meaning. Thanks to aperture radar and a C-band link. Okay. So for the eighth one, answer is C. The failure is a reminder that a launch of rocket, even as well understood as the PSLV, is not a given. Now, please understand, we have to see here that even as well understood, अभी अगर मैं बोल रही हूँ यहाँ पे as something, and errors can emerge unexpectedly. So and यहाँ पे थोड़ा suddenly कुछ भी काम कर रहा है. I hope you understand the issue, the confusion it is bringing here. So we want clarity in the sentence. हमको rephrase करना पड़ेगा यहाँ पे, ठीक है? So we have to replace this and, okay? As, because वाला as, errors can. This is the correct connector to be used. As या because आएगा. Because errors can emerge whenever unexpectedly, not planned way ना. तो यहाँ पे and is a wrong connector, because should come. आंसर टू दिस वन इज वेरी वेरी इजी. इक्विप्ड बाय नहीं, इक्विप्ड विथ होता है. सो इसरो मस्ट बी इक्विप्ड विथ समथिंग. यू नीड टू बी इक्विप्ड विथ मोर नॉलेज. इक्विप्ड अपने साथ विथ लेता है इफ यू आर मेंशनिंग कि क्या चीज है जो कि होनी चाहिए. लास्ट वन. The private sector still needs ISRO's guidance. In what? In building surveillance satellites, which is becoming urgent as the government increases its expectations on them. Expectations are on satellites, but है तो government की ना, so it is singular. That's why there यहाँ नहीं आएगा. Okay, C is your answer. C had error. That's it, guys. Thank you so much, and I'll be meeting you now tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. class on CGB IBPS Hub, and back here at 8 p.m. Okay, thank you so much, guys. See you later. Bye.